Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Dislyte video. So in today's video, I'm actually going to address something that really I didn't think I had to address, but I'm going to address it anyway, as it is something that I do see popping up in my comments quite a lot. And it is lately due to the fact that I have put out a few videos that people are perceiving as being negative, and that is, why don't I just quit? Why don't I just stop playing Dislyte instead of putting out videos that talk about the game in a negative light? Now, again, I don't really think I should have to address this, but I'm going to, simply because I feel like people have got a basic misunderstanding about what negative criticism actually means. Now, the reason that I'm presenting criticism about the game is because I want the game to do better, okay? I want the game to do well, I want the game to attract new players, and I want the game to keep the players that it's got. If I didn't care about the game, I wouldn't even make these videos, okay? Now, the things that I feel like I've spoken about are, maybe I should have tempered it a little bit by talking about why I was looking for these things to be changed, okay? Now, I feel like I did do a good enough attempt at that most people did get the gist that I wanted these changes to happen, and I want these changes to happen going forward for the benefit of all players. Now, just to be clear, you've probably heard about this VIP chat thing that people get invited to if they've put enough into the game. I'm in that, right? I'm actually a part of that. So I'm not just approaching this as someone who has zero investment into this game and I don't care if it does well or not. I want this game to do well. I want the time and money I've spent on this game to matter. I would like this game to grow and be a really successful gacha for years to come. And I feel like the things that I've suggested have been more to strengthen the player base, more to give people enjoyable things to do. Now, I'm not going to harp on about the complaints that I've had. I'm sure you've seen them already. Like, I have talked about the pity system. In fact, I'll tell you the things, why not? I've talked about the pity system. I've talked about the event for Ahmed not being so great. I've talked about potential shadow rate ups. And I've talked about the fact that they don't seem to be bringing any new ideas to the table, okay? Now, the reason that I feel like I'm not being hard on the game is because, as much as you might feel like this is a new game that has only had like 2 months, it's not. If you watch Zox's latest video, I'm not just looking at videos Zox has made. I speak to Zox. He's actually been playing this game for almost a year. So that's how long this game has actually had players actively playing it, okay? It had a really, really long closed beta that basically allowed people to play the game fully, spend money, do everything they wanted to do. And during that time, they should have got a feel for what the community needed, okay? That was their time to make sure they had things dialed in. That's when they should have had a structure in place. They should have had a flow, a roadmap of what they wanted to do content-wise. And in my opinion, every single month they should have a full-fledged event, okay? And that event should change. It shouldn't just be like the Ollie event where you get a couple of story stages followed by 2 bosses that you fight. I mean, if you do that every month, it's going to become a little bit vanilla, a little bit plain. They should mix it up. They should have been doing different things. You should have a new free-to-play a new free-to-play character every month, so that new players who don't have the money or don't want to spend the money still have something new to invest in, something new to grind. Because if you've got a new free-to-play character and they run an event that is spend X number of stamina, great, I'll take my free-to-play character that I've just got from the story event and I'll level them up. That's you naturally going to be using stamina, okay? I just feel like we've hit a point where they need to start looking at bringing originality to the game. And the reason I'm not going to quit Dislyte is because I want to be here to see that happening. I want to play this game when it is in a better state, okay? Now, Zox in his video referred to it as the dark times. I don't want to really use that term because I don't really want to think about a game being in its dark times when it should still be realistically in its honeymoon period, okay? Now, when a game is new, it should not be at a point where people are going, hang on, I'm getting bored of this, there's nothing to do, there's nothing happening. Now, people might say that, oh, well, that's your fault for charging through all the content. I mean, let's be honest, the game is designed for you to try and progress. The game is designed for you to beat the content. The events they put out are designed for you to use stamina. I mean, they've got like the herring box, like the picture board, like the Arcana event that's out just now. All of these events are designed for you to use your stamina. So if you have been playing the game and if you haven't hit a bottleneck, then chances are you're probably going to have beaten the story. You're probably going to be at the point where the only realistic thing for you to do is try and challenge maybe Tower, Temporal Tower, or grind up relics. And like I say, I just feel that that gets a little bit samey, which is why I spoke about it in the video the way I did yesterday. Now, I've actually got several ideas for what they could do to make this better, and I've been speaking to Zox, and we're going to do a video together where we go over ideas and talk about ways that we feel the game could be improved. Hopefully, if Lilith listen to what we actually say as content creators, they might just straight up use some of those ideas. Why not? Some of them are things that you just expect to be in games now. They're not even difficult things. I'm talking about like raids and stuff like that. Things that as a community we can get together and we can do in game. I've mentioned it a few times, special challenge stages, special challenge bosses and stuff like that. Now, I do fully feel like Dislyte will turn things around. The reason that I'm harping on at them to try and do it quickly is, for full disclosure, people who've watched my content for a while know this, okay? I covered Disgaea RPG, and I've covered Disgaea RPG since the day that it launched. And Disgaea RPG went through some bad times, okay? It went through some very bad times. And I was one of its most vocal critics, while at the same time standing by the game and continuing to make content for it. And the developers listened to a lot of the things that I had to say, and stuff like the pity system was implemented with my help, me talking to them about different systems that I thought would work. And Disgaea now has one of the best pity systems that you could ask for in a gacha game. Honestly, it's just so generous, it's unreal. So I'm literally just giving my criticisms out because I want them to be viewed as constructive criticism. I want them to be something that Lilith can listen to, Lilith can take on board and potentially improve the game. It's not to bash the game, it's not to bash the community, it's not to try and tear the game down, because the last thing I want to happen is Dislyte to not be popular. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I want Dislyte to be a popular game that we can all play and enjoy together. It's just right now it doesn't seem to be doing that, and I don't actually think they need to do that much to turn that around, and that's where my frustrations come from. And again, I don't ever want to be someone who's viewed as a negative person, because honestly I'm not. It's not who I am, and it kind of irks me a little bit when I see people saying things like, oh, you just want to make negative videos for views. It's like, I don't. Do you know what I mean? Because if people stick around long term, that's not the content they're going to get. So I really just want to put this video out to basically say that I'm not going anywhere. I do continue to make Dislyte content on the channel. So if you did sub to me for that, I'm still going to continue to put that out. I just want to basically start being able to post some W's for Lilith. I don't want to talk about negative things. I want to talk about their next event. I want to talk about their next unit, and I want to do that in a positive way, and hopefully that is something that can happen soon. But again, I just wanted to put this video out to clear the air a little bit, because to be honest, I'm getting sick of seeing comments saying just quit if you don't like it. I don't really think it's as simple as that. I think if everyone just gave up on something when it didn't look as good, then the world would be shit, basically. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it anyway. Probably not the video you were expecting, guys, but hey, I wanted to share that. So I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. See you later, guys. Bye.